is being recorded.
Welcome to the Grow Informed webinar series. It's hosted by Grow Associates. For the first 20 minutes, or perhaps as they said, Nancy and Jonathan Gardner will speak on the Charting Life course. Nancy is Jonathan's support person and mother, and I'll let them introduce themselves even more, but just let me continue that. Then the following 20 minutes will be the Continuing Adult Education Program Committee members from the Boston Higashi School who will speak. And that group, I need to change my view. Well, I'm going to have to let you introduce yourselves because right now my screen is too large to find the bio. I had bio page to read information for all of you. But Hilary Holmes is the main speaker. I remember she is an art therapist among many other talents. So let's start, and please type your questions in the Q&A section so we can answer them at the end. And also, two announcements. Our next webinar is Group Home 101. That'll be on March 21st, also at 6 p.m. And we are also hosting an open house May 31st, 4:30 to 6:30. That will be about self-directed programs also, and that speaker will be Ed Wilson. So without any further delay, Nancy and Jonathan, if you could start, that'd be great.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Gardner, and this is my mom, Nancy Gardner.
Hello.
And we're here to share about the Charting for Life course, which I'll get up right now. This is how I use the Charting for Life course in my journey to live my best life, given by myself, Jonathan Gardner, and supported by my mom, Nancy Gardner. Here's a little bit about myself. I'm a 20-year-old decision maker, self-advocate, homeschool graduate, cancer survivor who happens to have autism, a council member for the Massachusetts Developmental Disability Council, an ambassador for Operation House Call, a Flutie Fellow for the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, a co-chair for the Massachusetts Supported Decision Making Coalition. I like video games, pro wrestling, anime, and helping others. I have many different types of supports and supporters that help me live my best life. That was a mouthful.
Take your time, take your breath.
Charting the Life course can be used for your own life, for your family members, or in the work you do. The framework and tools will help you organize your ideas, vision, and goals, as well as problem solve, navigate, and advocate for supports.
So there are many ways people use Charting the Life course. So here are a few of them. People are using it to communicate their needs. People are advocating for the supports they need to accomplish their goals. Students are learning how life experiences impact their career goals. Families are exploring the services and supports they need. Parents, siblings, and family members are able to share their ideas, hopes, and fears for the future. And just a few more ways that it can be used. Case managers are using in planning meetings. Teachers are improving social skills at school, at home, and in the community. Information and referral staff are exploring the future with aging parents. Employment specialists are enhancing discovery and exploration that support career planning. Options counselors are providing anticipatory guidance and educating about life possibilities. And leaders are transforming organizations by using this.
There is no wrong way to use the Charting for Life tools to plan for your best life. There are so many. I'm going to show you the ones I use, and at the end of the presentation, there will be a link to find all the tools and more information on the Charting for Life course. To begin, you can look at the life stages and determine which one fits you the best.
So here you can see all the different life stages. Charting the Life course can be used through all the different stages of your life. You can see that it starts at prenatal, infancy, early childhood, school age, transition, adulthood, and right up into aging.
There are so many great tools in the Charting for Life course. These tools can help anyone who is planning, problem solving, or working on a goal. You can use them to express your hopes, dreams, and vision to live your best life, as well as think about and plan for supports you will need to get there. I got my vision by my mom asking me lots of questions.
Mhm. So the following are questions that are used by the Charting the Life course that may help you in creating a vision. What are other people my age doing for work, for fun, etc.? And what adaptations or accommodations are needed so I have similar life experiences? Am I learning how to create or maintain community connections and social capital? How could assistive technology, adaptations, or accommodations assist me in living the life I want? Am I learning how to access and integrate a variety of types of supports, like relationships, community assets, technology, in addition to any paid supports I receive? Do you have someone to talk to about your feelings, emotions, and concerns so that you don't feel alone? A few others would include, do you feel empowered to ask questions or disagree with professionals? And are you helping me know questions to ask and how to assert my wishes, opinions to professionals and supporters? Are you helping me create a vision for my own life and have the life experiences to get me there? How are you encouraging self-determination at all ages, stages, and aspects of my life? Are you always keeping an eye to the future or the next stages of my life and helping me learn to do the same?
My mom asks me some of these questions too throughout the years. I believe that I have strong skills in the following areas. I believe that my weaknesses are. These are the people I believe may be able to help me the most. Here are the things that help me perform well in school. If I had my choice, I would take the following classes. Here are the things I most enjoy. When I first began, I began with the introduction, integrated support style. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is what the integrated support style looks like. So Jonathan began using the support style at 13 years old. His vision was to help others any way he can. From there, he picked to support people and how they could help him. You can see pictured here is his very first team of supporters, along with the different areas of support. So some of the different areas of support include money management, working or volunteering, and include decision-making, friendship and love advice. And it also included for Jonathan being part of his IEP and his transition plan.
I had many visions for myself at different stages. Your vision may change and evolve over time. Once my vision was to become a professional wrestler. Another year, my vision was to learn to speak Japanese. When I turned 13 and began using Charting for Life, my vision was to help others any way I can. My vision is still the same, but how I go about it has evolved.
Mm-hmm. So here is one of many tools in the Charting the Life course. This is called the trajectory tool, and it provides space to explore the things going well in your life or the things that are stopping you from reaching your good life. So you can see kind of how Jonathan filled it up. The arrow pointing up shoots him, we like to say, shoots him to his good life, and the arrow pointing down shoots him to things that are basically non-negotiable, things that he does not want. So shooting up, he wants to help others, and shooting down, his non-negotiables are his voice being silent.
My favorite tool currently in the Charting for Life series is using the life domains, which we are going to show you in a minute. Here is a little about the life domains.
So there are all these different life domains. I'm just going to kind of go over so you can understand how he used them. Daily life and employment is what a person does as part of everyday life, school, employment, volunteering, communication routines, and life skills. community living, where and how someone lives, housing and living options, community access, transportation, home adaptations and modifications, healthy living, managing and accessing healthcare and staying well, medical, mental health, behavioral health, developmental health, wellness, and nutrition. And it continues with safety and security, staying safe and secure, emergencies, well-being, guardianship options, legal rights and issues, social and spirituality, building friendships and relationships, leisure activities, personal networks, and faith community. And finally, advocacy and engagement, building valued roles, making choices, setting goals, assuming responsibility, and driving how one's own life is lived.
This was another tool I used in my develop my vision.
So this tool helped Jonathan develop his vision. It's another tool from the frameworks of Charting the Life. The Charting the Life course framework was created to help individuals and families of all abilities and all ages develop a vision for a good life. Think about what they need to know and do, and identify how to find or develop supports and discover what it takes to live the lives they want to live. The framework is the keystone for supporting a community of learning that champions transformational change through knowledge exchange, capacity building, and collaborative engagement. So, you know, he just went through the different life domains here, and there were specific questions kind of similar to, like, just for one of them, I don't want to read all of them to you, but just one of them, like under daily life employment, what do I think I will do, want to do during the day in my adult life? What kind of job, career might I like? And Jonathan's answer was, at this time when we did this one, was, I would like a way to keep helping people. I'm just that type of guy. And how his current situation on this was, he was still new at it, and he wanted, I want more experience, so I can learn. So it's kind of how we went about filling everything out.
And this is my most current life domain vision tool.
Yep. So this is Jonathan's most current one. In his latest Charting the Life tool used here, he used the life domains again, which helped him to think about the current realities in his life, while also thinking about what life experiences he may want to have, which will lead him to the good life that he wants. So again, just to go over the same life domain for his daily life and employment, he said when he filled this one out, and kind of see how things evolve when he did it, he wrote, I want to help people any way I can. I also want to find joy in my day. I want to continue with my advocacy career as well as Operation House Call, and follow any other dreams that may come to me. So things do keep continuing to evolve.
Here are my current team of supporters who help me to live my best life. Here's some of them right here. I won't go into them in detail, but basically it's kind of similar to how the star works, basically, where we just place people in specific things. Like, for example, my brother, friendship. He was in the wingman territory, but he's not the best with women sometimes. I love you, Eric. Do not kill me for saying that. My mom's in most everything and really helped me out doing my medical stuff, with translating a lot of the medical stuff, which leads me to my team of doctors who are fantastic. My mental health therapist, she's amazing. Well, for friendship and finances, he's really good at that. Same deal with my father right here, and some people that I trust with some of my work stuff.
Yeah, and your new wingman.
And oh yeah, I almost forgot about the most important one. My wingman now. You're telling I'm awake for this. Here's some more pictures of me just living my best life.
So it just kind of goes to show how Jonathan has kind of picked who he wants to support him in what areas and different things, and he is out there living his best life.
Here is the link to the the charting, the life course link. It is at www.lifecoursetools.com. Highly recommend going to this after this whole Zoom thing's over.
Yep. And in the link, you will find like there were just so many tools and frameworks that can be used. And like Jonathan said, there is no right way, there is no wrong way to use any of them. You use it that best fits you. And there's just so many different ones. So it's a really great website to go and look at and see what's out there to help you live your best life.
And here's some of my contact information if you want to hire me for anything else or see more stuff from me. Thank you. I just got to figure it out. Give me a sec. There we go. Stop sharing. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan and Nancy, very much. All right, well, let's go to the continuing adult education program at Boston Higashi School. Currently, the program is open to alumni of the Boston Higashi School, but they are hoping to expand the program in the future and also share tips and ideas of topics that suit the program and adults well that could be adapted for other families listening in. So take it away. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. And Jonathan and Nancy, you guys are a tough act to follow. That was so informative. Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you virtually. I want to thank Grow Associates for the opportunity to join on this important conversation and to share our presentation with you tonight. My name is Hilary Holmes, and I'm the mental health counselor at the Boston Higashi School and also a member of our continuing adult education program, as we call it, CAEP, and a member of the coordinating committee. I'm joined here tonight by my colleagues and fellow committee members, and together we will talk to you about, give you an overview of our program and offer some ways for our adult services agencies to structure support and to continue the educational connection post-22. So the committee members joining me here today, unfortunately in the middle, Dr. John Mina was unable to join us tonight, but we have Yumiko Mori, Hiroyuki Marithi, and Leanne Haya. Each committee member comes from a different discipline and department within the Boston Higashi School, and through their expertise, they offer supervision, leadership, and coordination needed to successfully run our adult education program. So before diving in, I'm going to give you a brief walkthrough of our agenda for tonight. First, for those of you who may not be familiar, I'll give a brief overview of the Boston Higashi School. You'll quickly learn about its origins, the population we serve, some current statistics, and our teaching pedagogy. That will bring us into the continuing adult education program and how it was conceived and a brief history. You'll hear how the program is run, the different classes that we offer, training opportunities for parents or caretakers, as well as how we manage communication between different stakeholders, such as parents, direct care staff, and service agencies. And finally, we'll talk about some of the challenges we've faced and our goals for future expansion. So the Boston Higashi School was founded in 1987 as a specialized school for students on the autism spectrum. We are one of 2 programs worldwide working under the philosophy of daily life therapy, which is a holistic approach to education. We offer day and residential programming, as well as our alumni program, CAEP, for our former students. The Boston Higashi School is a caring community that's licensed to serve students ages 3 to 22. We currently have about 160 students. BHS offers a 217-day program as well as a 365 residential program, and roughly 2/3 of our students are residential. Our founder was Dr. Kiyo Kitahara. She began her career as a general education teacher, in Japan, a kindergartner teacher. And daily life therapy was inspired by her personal experience with a child with autism who was enrolled in her school. So the Musashino Higashi Gakuin School continues to serve both general education students and students with autism in Tokyo. So in 1987, Dr. Kitahara opened the Boston Higashi School to serve our students in the US. And all of the students at the Boston Higashi School have an autism diagnosis. So Dr. Kiyo Kitahara developed a teaching pedagogy and coined it daily life therapy. So daily life therapy is a holistic approach that we like to refer to as heart-to-heart teaching. Daily life therapy is used in all of our programming at the school, the residential component, and in our alumni program, CAEP. So DLT, daily life therapy, is composed of 3 pillars, which you can see in our visual here. And these pillars support everything that we do. The 3 pillars are physical stamina building, emotional stability, and intellectual stimulation. Now, the first pillar, physical stamina building. So that includes exercise, which regulates our sleep, stimulates appetite, promotes regular bowel movements, just our general body functioning. So we value vigorous exercise as an important part in maintaining one's health, and we incorporate physical movement into each day. Pillar number 2, emotional stability. So that's our second pillar in our structure. Emotional distress can be distracting, and an emotionally unstable person is not ready to learn. So emotional readiness is considered just as important as physical readiness in daily life therapy. And much of what contributes to the emotional stability comes from that heart-to-heart education that we rely on. So participants in our program can trust their teacher that will kind of guide them through challenges, and that leaves the individual open to new experiences and taking risks and trying new things. So the praise that they receive from their instructors builds confidence and self-esteem. Additionally, we implement an emotional curriculum in which students learn to identify their emotions in themselves and others. And in our program, participants are encouraged to socialize, build friendships, and further expand upon that emotional stability. Finally, our last pillar, intellectual stimulation. So that's our third pillar, and that includes the academic experiences that we offer both at the school and during our continuing adult education program. So under daily life therapy, visual arts, music, and other extracurriculars are considered to be essential components of our programming. We can move to the next slide. And I'm going to hand it over to Yumiko for this one.
Thank you, Hilary. Hello, everyone. My name is Yumiko Mori. This is my 23rd year at Boston Higashi School. I am the educational program evaluator. Before this position, I have been working as an IP coordinator. So now I will explain about brief history of the CAEP. So we launched this program in 2015, and I'm showing some descriptions from the peer review articles here. And you can see how individuals with ASD experience difficulties with their adult services after 22. We have been aware that people often describe the life of individuals with ASD post-22 as a falling off a cliff. And we have been thinking how we could help our alumni for long years. Before COVID, we had many events for alumni in our school, such as alumni brunch, that we invite them to Lombardo's in Randolph once a year to get together and have a brunch. At such time, alumni parents always approach us and asking for some new program for their sons and daughters. We also heard from them that their sons and daughters had many more downtimes than before, gained or lost weight a lot, and resumed psych medications, and were experienced regulation in many areas. Next slide, please. So in March 2015, we formed a steering committee for the new program for our alumni and started research on educational programming in the community, developed program and policies and procedures, and created all clerical systems consulting with the school lawyers. Then we launched a new program for our alumni called CAEP, Continuing Adult Education Program, in September 2015. That's only 6 months after the steering committee was formed. When we started the first session in 2015, only 21 alumni registered to the program. And the number of the applicants steadily increased. And for the winter spring 2020, we had 45 alumni registered. That was a record. But COVID-19 hit during that season, and we had to switch the format of the session from in-person to online. Hilary will explain each format later. And when we started the online session, many of the alumni parents just thought that online session would not work their sons and daughters and hesitated to apply for the online program. But many of our alumni are kind of rather good at adjusting the new environment with the repetitious practice and also clear expectations to them that they acquired when they were students at Higashi school. So through the repetitious online sessions with a consistent approach by our instructors, now many of them just can participate in the online session successfully without no issues, not issue, but without much issues with caretakers and parents, or sometimes even independently, very successfully. We are now in the middle of the winter-spring 2023 season, and we just decided to have March sessions in person for the first time in 3 years. So we are very excited about it. So now Leanne will tell you how we run this program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leanne Haya. I am currently the Assistant Director of Student Services. I've been working at Higashi for 23 years. I started as a classroom teacher, then I was a master teacher, and then I moved into the administrative side. I have also been an instructor teaching dance in the CAEP program, and just recently I moved to also be one of the steering members of the committee. So here are some tips for how to run the program, and this is how we've done it in case anyone else would like to start a program as well. We have an online application, and that gets emailed out to our alumni in our monthly emails. During the application, we can make accommodations. So if participants only want to participate in a few of the classes, or if they only want to do the only the online portion, or only the in-person portion, we can accommodate that. And then for anyone who hasn't tried the program before, we'll also offer 1 to 2 free sessions. For funding the program, we have a tuition that is paid by the participants, but we also have needs-based scholarships. We were given a grant from a company that currently supports 14 participants. We also receive general donations from different organizations, as well as from the parents, and those funds can go towards running the program, as well as purchasing any materials or items that we need. We are constantly evaluating our program. After each session, we'll have an internal review. So all of the staff will discuss things that went well, things that we need to improve on. And then also the steering committee meets once a week to review as well. And at the end of the 6 sessions, we send out an online survey for both the participants as well as the guardians of the participants, and as well as our staff, just for feedback on how we can improve or things that they really enjoyed. Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it back to Hilary.
So our CAEP program runs 3 sessions per year. We have a fall session, winter spring session, and then a 1-day summer session. When on campus, our fall and winter spring sessions include classes such as swimming, art, music or jazz band, yoga, dance, cooking, mini golf, communication, and employment education. Our summer session, as I said, is a 1-day session, and it's more of a celebration style. So that includes a pool party, a music, jazz band class, outdoor or indoor games, and a cookout. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to adapt our lessons to fit an online format, as Yumiko was telling you about. So our instructors found ways to adapt the same content into interactive virtual lessons. So we found some pros and cons to each. Nothing beats having our participants on campus and learning together in person, but there certainly were some silver linings to the virtual format as well. The online format allows for participants to log in from wherever they are. So some log in from a group home while others log in from their families' homes. This format also allows for a farther reach, so we're able to extend our community to participants who may live out of state or just otherwise have longer distances to commute, so that they're able to reconnect with our Higashi community as well. We also frequently have family members of our participants join in with their loved ones for the virtual sessions. So we have a parent who frequently tunes in from China to join her son virtually, as well as siblings who tune in to join their brother or sister while they may be away at college. And finally, all of our sessions incorporate a focus on social emotional learning and utilize the zones of regulation framework. So this is something we'll talk about more shortly. So here's a sample schedule for an in-person session. Participants are broken into 3 or more groups depending on our total enrollment for that session. And each group follows the schedule, traveling together from class to class. Participants are supported by their family or caretakers to follow along to each instructor-led lesson. And the CAEP also assigns transition leaders and support staff on our end to ensure that there's effective facilitation of each lesson. And here you can see some photos from some of our in-person sessions. You'll see a group enjoying yoga in our gymnasium, a cooking class taking place, and also an art lesson. It looks like they are doing portraits with a partner. And here is a sample schedule of our online format. So for our online sessions, we utilize the Google Meet platform. As you can see, the schedule runs very similar to our on-campus format. Instead of 3 groups, though, most of our sessions take place in one large format group with a separate breakout room taking place for students who participate in our jazz band. You can see at the bottom of the schedule, we also provide some additional instructions and reminders for our participants and their caretakers. And these reminders help to maximize the effectiveness of our lessons and increase our participant engagement. So we include tips on camera positioning, microphone etiquette, how to gain attention from the instructor via the raise hand feature. And we also provide phone numbers for our caretakers and agencies for technical support issues. And here you can see some photos, snapshots of our alumni participating in our virtual lessons. So you can see a cooking class taking place here. And if you look into the background of the photo, you can see that she has her computer up and she is following along to the recipe independently. We have some folks showing off their artwork on the bottom here. And then on the right side of the screen, you'll see our virtual jazz band taking place. So we have a jazz band instructor and people are playing their instruments independently following sheet music that they had prepared prior to the lesson. Okay, and here is our zones of regulation. So we aim to incorporate elements of social emotional learning into all of our lessons in CAEP. SEL is the process through which people acquire the knowledge, attitudes, and skills needed to recognize and manage their emotions, demonstrate care and concern for others, establish positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and handle difficult situations constructively. So this definition is adaptable and SEL looks different for each and every person. We found it most successful to implement the zones of regulation framework into our program. So the zones of regulation are designed to teach individuals how their body reacts in connection to their emotions. So it's meant to teach self-regulation, emotional awareness, and problem-solving strategies. So as you can see on our visual, there are 4 zones. We have blue, yellow, green, and red. And each zone has a number of different possible emotions. So for our population, we start with just a few emotions in each zone. Blue is tired or sad, yellow is silly or worried, green is calm or happy, red is excited or angry. And from there, we relate these emotions to an energy level. So when in the blue zone, sad or tired, you're likely experiencing low energy. Whereas in the yellow zone, your body could be nervous, you could be slightly upset. In the yellow zone, there's a loss of some control. In the green zone is calm, safe, and ready to learn. And finally, the red zone is high energy. So your body might be feeling out of control and it could lead to unsafe or dangerous behavior. So our instructors utilize these zones multiple times through each lesson through the use of check-ins. So during which the instructor models by stating how they're feeling before or after any given activity and gives the participants a chance to practice and to share. And next, I'm going to hand it over to Kariuki.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kariuki Mureithi. I think I have the easiest name here, but if you want to remember me, it's karaoke, like karaoke music. I am currently the head of the residential program here at the Boston Higashi School, and I joined this program in September of 2007. So this is my 16th year. And I have worked purely at the residence, starting as a residential instructor, providing direct care, and rising through the ranks to head the program. I'm also part of the steering committee of the Continuing Adult Education Program, CAEP, and I also double up as an instructor, a lifeguard, and everything I need to do to make the CAEP successful. As the steering committee, we recognized that there was no existing framework for training adult service providers and parents and guardians once the students or our students leave the Boston Higashi School. On the other hand, a majority of our Higashi alumni retain some of the core training and skills that they had acquired at the Boston Higashi School. The overarching goal, therefore, is to ensure that parents and caretakers can create structures and routines at the alumni areas of residence and use these to teach new skills or to just retain what they already know or what they already have learned at the Boston Higashi School. this meant that to ensure that the individuals can serve, or this was meant to ensure that the individuals can serve and have fun while leading meaningful and productive lives. We typically set 1 to 2 goals for each CAEP session, whether it is online or in person, as outlined by Hilary. And then these goals inform the hands-on experience or training that targets the residential staff, parents, and caretakers. Our aim is to encourage the parents or the caretakers to facilitate the optimum participation of the alumni in the CAEP lessons or activities. And our hope is also to make sure that they have the chance to generalize the skills that they acquire at the CAEP to their daily life. For training, we cover such topics as how to set up the environment for specific activities or create those specific routines. We also train the parents and caretakers on how to enhance the instruction given by the CAEP during such sessions. We also teach the basics of behavior support. Through this training, the parents and caretakers learn that independently, they can also use basic postures, imitation skills. They can also enhance the communication or become the role models for the alumni to emulate. To enhance this training, we created videos for parents and caretakers that they can use while they are in their own homes or group homes. The content of these training videos was based on the results of a survey that this committee conducted last year to identify priority areas of training. And now these videos are available on the BHS or the Boston Higashi School website. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see the alumni page, and there's a tab for training videos. Some of the available videos are on community safety, focusing on preparation, transportation, and also the activity that you're going to carry out in the community, for example, shopping. There is a video on communication, and this seeks to show that we can create opportunities for communication in all the activities or lessons that we have here, we offer at CAEP. Then there's another one on physical exercise, and this can be used by any of the alumni members or parents independently or as part of the lesson. These exercises are fun, they are rigorous for individuals or for the individuals to diffuse energy and also to have fun. And we are also working on more training videos. So one on vocational activity is coming up soon. I'll hand over to Yumiko.
Thank you, Kariuki. So I'm now showing how we communicate with our alumni, parents, and caretakers for the program. They are all common methods for communication. Our school website has an alumni page, as Kariuki said, and it shows a program overview, policies and procedures, photo slideshow from the past sessions, and the training videos that Kariuki just explained to you. For program participants, we email the schedule and reminders about 2 weeks before each session that allow them enough time to prepare for the session. We send another reminder email 2 days before the session to make sure they are ready for the session with the lesson materials such as art materials and cooking ingredients. We also provide them with a visual schedule for each week for alumni to know the clear starting and ending of each class. Yes, thank you. So these are sample visual schedule sheets. for jazz band members and non-jazz band members. And back to the previous slide, please. And if someone is absent from the session without notice, we will definitely follow up with his or her caretakers and parents by email after the session and remind them of the next session. So these efforts often fill the communication gap between parents and caretakers. And if someone demonstrated a wonderful job during the session, we also email parents and caretakers and give them positive feedback with some photos taken during the session. We always live in a very busy world, so we tend to contact parents and caretakers only when some issues arise. But we always try very hard to contact them with positive reasons and to show our appreciation for their commitment. So this absolutely helps three parties, BHS, CAEP team, parents, and caretakers share the same information and communicate with each other closely and feel that we work for an individual in a team together. And this eventually impacts on the alumni's positive participants and experience and a wonderful performance in the program. Okay, back to Hilary. Thank you.
Next slide, please, Leanne. Thank you. So our program has continued to expand over the years. We've been faced with a couple of challenges. Number one, funding for our program is derived from private pay from families as well as through grant funding. So we've been able to secure significant grant contributions through the Flatley Foundation as well as the Mitsui USA Foundation. Combined, these funding sources have allowed us to grow into what we are today. But of course, additional funding sources will be needed as we continue on to expand our offerings and clientele. Secondly, staffing. Currently, all staff, as you've heard from my committee members here, all staff within CAEP are also employees of the Boston Higashi School from either the day or residential programming. So staff generously offer their time planning and facilitating CAEP lessons on top of their already full-time workload. As previously stated, we are looking to potentially expand our program to include a day program component, as this has been highly requested by our alumni and families. And we're also looking to expand our offerings to individuals outside of our alumni community as well. And here we just have some references which have informed our research, and we welcome you to take a look if you have a chance. And finally, on screen here, you'll see our email address as well as our website. So our website has much of the information you've seen here today, as well as additional resources and the training videos that Kariuki mentioned. So please take a look and feel free to reach out to us as well. We'd love to hear any feedback. And I want to thank you all for your time here today. I'm going to hand it back over to Jill.
Great, thank you so much. I do have a quick question for Kariuki. You said for the programs, each session, you try to set 1 to 2 goals. I was wondering if you could give us an example of a goal.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I'll give an example of the very first goal that we set at the beginning of each season. Right now, we are in the winter-spring session. The first goal that we set is just for the staff to effectively prepare for each session. That is setting up the environment and preparing the students or the participants' minds so that they can allay the fear of spending their Saturday morning at structured, CAEP session. Another one would be, for example, to to identify the teaching moments whenever we have things or lessons like art, music, dance, and so on and so forth. So these are targeted at the caretakers. The lesson itself will have its own objectives, depending on who the instructor is and the skill to be taught for that day. But now this one is targeted at preparing the caretakers or the parents on the best way to support the alumni members to fully participate.
Thank you. And Nancy and Jonathan, are there any costs associated with the life course?
No, all the tools are online. I mean, I did take a class when I learned about it. I took a course. That's why it was hard to kind of sum up in just 20 minutes. I went to a class on it. It was a course, so which was given through one of the acts at the time. So I did not.
But I believe everything on the website is free.
Everything on their website is free. All the tools are there. You can take a class. I think that if you go to their link also, it does tell you where the classes, are. And a lot of them are probably on Zoom right now.
Okay. All right. And let me just double check okay. So we do not have questions right now in the queue. This will be recorded and available on our website. And again, I appreciate you attending and looking forward to GROW's upcoming webinars, monthly webinars. And again, for those interested in self-directed programs, we will be having an open house May 31st with our guest speaker of Ed Wilson. So again, GROW Associates, thank you. We're based in Randolph. We offer opportunities to people of all abilities, to adults with developmental disabilities, and their families and caretakers. So again, because everyone deserves a happy and meaningful life according to their own values and goals. So thank you again and have a terrific evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan.